Good evening, everybody. That started up again for some reason. I don't know why. Sorry about that. Anyway, good evening and welcome to good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Live with me, Jonny Lipsham, here at Jonny Lipsham Studios in the southeast, I suppose, southeast of Scotland. Hope everybody is doing well and has had a really good week. It's been a good week for me, and yeah, all is well here. I'm still recovering from COVID, not quite 100% yet. It's taking a really long time to get fully fit from COVID. So if any of you guys have had it, your kind of mileage may vary, but certainly in my case, I went from being completely knocked down and out for the count with it, to getting back to about 90% in about, I think it was about 3 days. But then kind of like after the 3 days, it's taken me probably the better part of nearly a month, excuse me, to get to kind of the end of it, where I'm completely clear of it. I am not testing positive for COVID, which is great. So I'm not really infectious anymore. I still have it, but I'm not infectious anymore. So I'm able to get out and about and do the things that I need to do, which is also good because, you know, my wife works really, really hard at her job as a midwife. And so, you know, I can't be relying upon her or my kids to be doing everything all the time. And it certainly wouldn't have been sustainable for a whole month. So that's kind of where I'm personally at. I know a lot of people that have had COVID now, and I managed to avoid it for, you know, the better part of 2.5 years, and then my son brought it home from school. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience that I wouldn't really wish upon any of my worst enemies, and certainly something I don't wish to repeat. But I do know that several people now that have had COVID at least twice. So once you've had it, you don't have permanent immunity to it. You can get it again. It's much like flu in that respect. You can have several bouts of flu, and because, you know, there's always new kind of variants and new strains going around, and so it's possible that you can get a different one each time. So with that all said, but yes, I test, exactly, Keith is correct, I test for 100% Scottish. Yes, I am 100% Scottish, and I have actually a very diverse family background, actually. So, yeah, but yes, I am 100% Scottish. Alright, let's go see who's in the house, seeing as we're being 100% Scottish. First in the door is Billy Morgan. He was about 2 hours early, which is phenomenal. John Hawk followed in about an hour later, and then we have Alps Media. My sponsor for this show for Sunday Night Live is Alps Media. Louis over there is awesome. And let's see. And my personas, aka Rich Cresswell, is here as well. Kevin's Guitar Stories is here. Paul Morgan is here. Daryl Harrison says hello. Hello, Daryl. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Don Oliver is here. Ronald Figura, Waveform Laboratory, has a question which I'm going to get to in just a moment. Bobby Booth at Booth Mixing and Mastering Service is here. By the way, you should go check out his mixing and mastering services because he is really good. Trust me, he is really good at what he does as a mixing and mastering guy. He does a terrific job. And he has been one of my most faithful and loyal supporters since I started making videos. He's been around certainly since the very first live stream. And I don't think he's missed very many. Sonic Tsunami is here as well. Keith Chadwick, who we have referred to already. He says, hello to all you truckers out there. Let's see who else is here. Old School Funk and Soul is here, and Low Ends is here as well, which is awesome. So we've got some fantastic people in here tonight, which is great. And as I said, we've got some good questions, or at least one good question to kick us off with. And so if you have a question for me, and you know, the best way to get that into the chat is to type at Jonny Lipsham Studios first, and then your question, and that way I can easily see your question because it highlights my name in red, and I know that that's a question, and I can separate that from the rest of the just general chat in the chat. I'm really, really happy for you guys to just chat amongst yourselves as well in the chat. But yeah, if you've got a specific question that you want me to address, then stick at Jonny Lipsham Studios first. In, you know, the at sign, use that, and Jonny Lipsham Studios, put that in first and then put your question in, and then that will help me be able to differentiate it because I can see it really clearly. All right, let's get to it. Let's see, Waveform Laboratory has a question. He says, is it safe to assume that when converting / bouncing a VST or audio track that the conversion is based on your song settings, like 48K 24-bit in the song setting? Yes, that is a very safe assumption to make. Yes. If you are, let's go over to Studio One to look at this, and I have not done this correctly because you cannot see me. We can fix that. There we go. All right, so to answer this question, if you were to come into song setup, your sample rate here, these are all global settings for this particular song. So if you have a default song template that you have set up, then these settings are default for that song. So sample rate here is 44.1, resolution is 24 bits, the frame rate is 24 FPS, and I have 0 for the frame offset and time offset, and there's no bar offset, and the time base is bars, and the display mode is time linear. So all of this is global. I also have stretch audio files to song tempo and include effects when updating mastering file. All of those are all checked. So when you render when you transform a track to rendered audio, then it's going to be at the song settings. Okay, so if your song is 44.1, then that's what will get printed. Okay, so if your resolution is 24-bit, then your audio that you print when you transform to rendered audio is going to be at 24-bit resolution as well, and the frame rate is going to be 24 FPS unless you change it. So, and then here it says the generator is 5.2. So that's the latest build of Studio One 5 for those that are interested. And this is all important information. And you can change the creator as well. You can change any of this stuff. And then you've got the metadata information here. There's my pretty little mugshot, handsome devil. And then I have all this set up by default so that my name here, the genre, the year, and the website. I can change all of this, and I do this on a regular basis, but that's kind of another subject, really. But yes, all of these settings here are really important and will govern any rendering that you do. So I hope that that answers that question. It's a good one. 'Tis a good one indeed. Let's see, what else do we have? Sonic Tsunami says, I'm sorry to hear your recovering is taking longer than it should. Just take care of yourself and you'll get there. Yes, and you know, I have the vitamin C intake increased from what it normally is, and all of that fun stuff, and I am going through truckloads of chicken soup. Which, you know, and actually that's my mother's recipe for chicken soup as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Ronald Figueroa says, MacBook. I'm starting to save my songs to an external drive. My older files were saved to the desktop. I'm opening those and doing save as to the external drive. Okay. Yes, that will work for you. Doing save as, or you can do save to new folder and save it to your new destination. That's another way that you can skin that particular cat. And what that will do is it will save it as a new folder, and all the stuff that needs to be in that folder, such as the media, so that you've got your audio files and any images for the waveforms, any presets, all of that fun stuff will be in that new song folder. Which leads me on to another subject about missing files. A lot of people get this, and I see this come through in tech support a lot. And that's when people, they send a song to somebody else, or they move a song from one location to another, which is what Ronald is doing here. And when they open up the song, they get a dialog box with a bunch of missing files errors. And they go, oh, where's all my audio? And it's just like, the reason that that happens is that in your song, you have a .song executable, which loads up the song into Studio One. But you also have media reference files that plays back the audio. You also have image data that makes the waveforms on the screen, and you know, the events and all of that. And you have any plugin presets. All of that is in the song folder. So if you were to send to somebody just the .song file, they won't get any of that stuff. And now your song has nothing to reference. And so it throws up the missing files error or missing devices error if the person that you're sending the song to does not have the plugins that you have used. So if you've used a whole bunch of Slate Digital plugins and the person that you're sending it to doesn't have Slate Digital, then they're not going to be able to use those plugins. And they'll be red and you'll get a missing devices error message. But also, if that media folder is not included, then Studio One's not going to have any audio to reference, so it won't be able to play back anything, and you'll get a whole bunch of missing files errors, which is what that's to do with. It's to do with, generally speaking, missing audio files. And so here's how your song works. Your song references the media file, the media folder. And so Studio One knows where to look for that. So if you move a song, let's say from your desktop to an external hard drive, and then you open it from that particular location, if those other reference files are not in the location that Studio One is looking when you open up your song, you're going to get missing files errors. Now, if you know where you've moved the media folder to, then it's easy to fix, because in that dialog box, there is an option there whereby you can say, you can click on it, you can navigate to the new location, and as soon as it finds one file, it will find everything else, and the whole thing will just populate. All your audio events will populate, and everything will be fine. And then what you need to do is really important. Okay, so we'll go back to Studio One for this. So, I recommend everybody does this. Studio One options or Studio One preferences, locations. Make sure this box here is checked. Ask to copy external files when saving document. This is really important. So when, let's say I make a bunch of recordings in this song, if I have this checked, or let's say I bring in a whole bunch of drum loops from Loop Loft, and I've got Loop Lofts over here. All right, so let's say I bring in a whole bunch of files from a different location into this song. If I don't have this checked and I save the song and then I open the song again the next day, those files are going to be gone. And they won't be in the media folder anymore. So what you need to do is copy these external files. Let's say anything I've used from Looploft or anything I've used from an external VST library, for example. If I bring those into the song and I don't copy them to the media folder, then Studio One is not going to find those. And that's what this little dialog does. So when this box is checked and you save the song, another dialog will appear saying, do you want to copy these files? Just don't even read what the dialog box says. Just hit yes. Just click yes every time. And all of your external files that you have brought into your song and used will be copied to the media folder. And then that means the next time you open that song, all of that stuff is there and you don't get missing files errors. So really important to consider that. And also, if you do change this destination here, the user data location for songs, projects, shows, presets, etc. Let's say I decide, hey, my D drive is too full now. I'm going to switch to my F drive. That's fine. And all new songs will then be saved to that location. And I just create a songs folder on my F drive and everything gets saved there going forward in the future. You can do that, but just be aware that, you may have difficulty going forward opening up other songs that are in different folders, and you just need to be aware of that. Say you open a song that you worked on your D drive, you open it, it will open, it's fine, but let's say you decide you're going to add new material to that, and then you go save it. It will now save to this location, it will save to your F drive. If I've changed this location, it will save it to your new location. So that's something to bear in mind. This is where a lot of people come unstuck, and then they start saying, oh, the file management in Studio One sucks, it doesn't work properly. No, it's actually really, really logical. It's really simple. And you can check all of this out by opening up a song from your recent files list. Let's say this one here, and I can go show in Explorer, and my Explorer is going to be hidden behind some stuff over here, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, there it is. Let's bring this over here. No, I can't see what you can see. There we go. And I've lost the chat. Where's the chat gone? There we go. Okay, we're back. This opened up on my second screen. So now you can see all of these are all the reference folders for this song. There's this .song executable. There's the media folder. The cache folder is really important. Any bounced tracks you've done. So if you've done transform to audio or transform to rendered audio, they all go in this folder here. And then your history. And then if you've done any mastering, that will appear here as well. If you've done any export stems, they will all get copied here too. So if I move this to somewhere else, that association that this song has with these folders will be broken and the song will not work properly. None of this stuff will appear. So it's important, if you want to avoid getting missing files errors, that you make sure that when you're sending a folder, you're sending this entire folder, this paper deity folder, to the person that you want to send it to. Don't just send the .song, you got to send everything that is in the folder. So, I can zip this up and then send this off, and then somebody can unzip it and they can load it up in Studio One and they should be good to go. So I hope that helps, and I'm going to close that dialog box. Alrighty, let's go back over here. So it is a good idea if you want to start saving stuff to a better location. And in fact, I don't recommend you save your songs to your desktop all the time. Not a great idea. You will end up slowing down how long it takes for Studio One to start up, and also how long it takes for your computer to actually power up because your computer has to then load all of the stuff that's on the desktop into memory. And that may not be such a clever idea. So if you're going to store your songs on your computer, store them to either a second internal drive, like I have. I have a D drive, which is my audio drive, and all of my songs are run from that drive, or from an external hard drive, or from an SSD. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind here. If you are going to be saving to an external hard drive, a mechanical one that's got a spinning drive, make sure that the spin speed of that drive is 7,200 RPM. Don't get a 5400. 5400 is not fast enough for real-time audio, and you will get dropouts, you'll get Studio One freezing up, you'll get clicks, you'll get pops, you'll get all sorts of other audio artifacts because the drive cannot read and write fast enough to Studio One. You need a 7,200 RPM mechanical drive or a solid state drive. So that's something to bear in mind. But it is a good idea to, kind of start doing that. Waveform says, okay, thanks. I was wondering if the transform function used the export settings. Thanks for clearing that up for me. There you go. Save to new folder moves everything over to that new folder. Yes, it does. Ronald says save to new folder sounds good. Yep, there we go. How does one consolidate the song pool so all audios and samples are there? That's what that copy that's what that copy external files thing does. So if I go back to my song, not that one. Let me open up Paper Deity actually. Seeing as it's at the top of my list because I have been using it for demos recently. So if I go back over to the song here and I go to the pool here, what I can do is I can right click at the bottom here and I can say copy to external files. And when I do that, it'll copy all of this lot. If there's any external files inside the pool, it'll copy those to the media folder. And that includes any external samples that you've used. So if you've used samples from Looploft or anywhere else, any other location on your computer, if you do this, then it will copy those. It'll copy those to your media folder inside the song folder. And you need it to do that. You cannot just kind of be, referencing them from that external source. Studio One doesn't quite work like that. There are other DAWs that do that, where there, I said it again, I said do. I did this last week. Other DAWs will do that. They will reference the material in its original location. So if it was from a Looploft library on your F drive or your G drive or whatever, or it's on a thumb drive or, however you've, stored all of those samples, it will reference that external source. Studio One doesn't do that. Studio One, the best way to work with Studio One is to copy all of those into the media folder, and then Studio One is referencing those directly in the song folder. And it's the most efficient way for Studio One to work, and you will not get any issues. So anything that's in the pool, anything that you have brought into Studio One, anything that you have recorded, anything that you have rendered or bounced is going to be in here, and you can click on this guy to copy the external files. Now, if you do get the missing files error, you can click on this, locate missing files, and this will give you the option to use Finder on a Mac or Explorer on Windows to locate where your missing files are. This is good if you know where they are. But if you don't know where they are, then you're going to have problems. And good luck trying to find them is all I will say. You're going to have to search your entire system to try and find the files. And if they've got like an unusual file naming nomenclature thing going on, then it's just going to be harder to find those particular files. I've worked with people in tech support where their file management has a lot to be desired, shall we say. And they either organize things in a really strange way that Studio One won't work with, or they will start a song, and then whilst they're working on that song, they will move it to another location. And then they start getting missing files because they're not moving the whole thing. And it just gets into a mess very, very quickly and very easily. So you want to avoid that. So if you know where you've moved the media file to, the media folder to, you can use locate missing files to find them. So that will resolve that for you. All right, let's go back over here. Let's see. What does the use cache plugin data on save mean? What that means is in the song, let's see, how do I get to it? I have to try and remember how I get to it before we do anything else. Is it in... I can't remember how you get to that option. See, this is the thing with COVID. COVID makes you forget things. Oh, there you go. It's in user data. It's in Studio One options or preferences, locations, user data, use cache plugin data on save. So, in your song there is a cache folder, and you can use that. The plugin presets, the plugin settings that you've set up. So if you've set up a compressor with certain settings, and then when you save the song, those can be loaded into cache and they can be saved into cache. And then it just means that it's quicker. It's quicker opening the song. It just makes things a lot quicker. I don't have this option checked for, I don't know why I don't have this option checked, but I don't. But yeah, you can check that, and instead of loading, things in a particular way, it loads them from the cache. So that's kind of what that does. This was actually new to Studio One 5.5, I think, and it's one of the lesser known features from the changelog, which I didn't cover in my 5.5 overview. And the reason why I didn't cover it was because, you know what? There was like 45 brand new features and stuff. I can't cover all 45 features. So this is one of the ones I had to go, you know what? You're just going to have to find out for yourself. But yeah, that's there. Let's see if I can find some other information on that. Plugin. 0. Okay. Let me see. See if I can find some more information on that. Use cache plugin data. Yeah, I'm not finding any information on that. Don't know why I'm not finding any information on that. Let's see. See if I can find something here. Yeah, I can't really find any. I'm looking to see if I can find any further information on that, but I'm not really finding anything, unfortunately. Sorry about that. I'll see if I can find a little bit more information on that, and then maybe we can cover that a little bit more, either next week or maybe on Wednesday. But yeah, I can't find any information to hand right now. Can I explain how the Retro Mix Legends series works? I can do that. For this, I think I can do it on here. So, without completely ruining this mix. So, if I go back up to effects, you'll find here, if you have them installed, you'll find them here in Mix Effects. And you'll find that there's an Alpine desk, a Brit console, and then there's the Porta Cassette. And basically these two here are consoles. They are modeled consoles using state space modeling techniques developed by PreSonus, pioneered by PreSonus. And then there's this Porta Cassette, which is, as you'd expect, is pretty much like a 4-track tape machine. And that has also been modeled using the same technique. And both these consoles have been modeled down to the schematic level using the state space modeling technique. Now, if you have these installed, then they will also appear here. So if I was to select the Brit console, and this is a little bit like, it's not the same as, but it's a little bit like an SSL console. And what you'll find here is you have some options for drive, for noise, and the amount of crosstalk you want. And you can turn these on and off with these buttons here. This is boost function, which is quite interesting. And then there's a noise gate. And then there's 3 different styles. So there's the vintage, which is kind of a little bit like an SSL 4000. And then this one I think is like the 7000. I think this is the 9000 series consoles. Although I think the vintage one is the E, and I think this one might be the G, the 4000G. I can't quite remember. And then you've got this harmonics option here, which will give you 2nd or 3rd harmonics. And these are kind of like overtones. And then you've got this character knob here, which goes from 1 to 10. Don't really know kind of what it's adding or taking away. And then you've got master control. You've got this eco mode as well. The eco mode basically means that it just is less intensive on your CPU. And then you can run it so that all channels, basically what this does is, like all the other Mix Effects and Mix Effects engine plugins like the CTC1 and the Console Shaper, basically whenever you have this instantiated like I have here, is it turns off the default Studio One audio engine. The standard audio engine gets turned off and this replaces it. So this console is affecting the audio at the audio event level. So all the channels, when you're in channel mode, all the channels are affected with this console before the audio actually hits the channel. If you have it in bus mode, then any channels that are routed to buses that have this on it will be affected by it before the audio hits that bus. So that's kind of how that works. It's a little bit complicated to unpack. There's a lot more to it than that, but really, you know, that's kind of the best I can do for Sunday Night Live. There are a bunch of videos that we at PreSonus have done on the PreSonus YouTube channel on these when we launched these 18 months ago, I think it was, when these guys came out. But they are very, very cool indeed. So that's the Brit, and you can swap this out for anything else. Oops. So I can just remove that one, and then I can swap out the Alpine. This is another console, which is a little bit of a different console, and you've got this transformer stage here, as well as the noise, the drive, and the crosstalk, and the character knobs. And then you've got a bunch of presets here for all of these. And you got actually presets for the other one as well. So if I go back to the Brit, there's a bunch of presets here as well. So you got the Eco 4000, which is A really good 4000E series SSL console preset, and then you got this G style one. And then you got this drive one, boost one. So there's a whole bunch. Burning cables. Who the heck names these presets? I have my suspicions. I think it's Ari, but I'm not sure. Wouldn't be surprised if it is him. But anyway, and that's those two. And then of course you have, I keep clicking that, I don't want to, the Porta Cassette. Cool thing about the Porta Cassette is you can change the pitch. So I am now going to play one of my songs and just kind of ruin it a bit. Now I'm really singing in a high voice.
Past the window on the 13th floor. One more sad life crashes. Broken by the yearn for more and more. Another spin of the wheel. Roll of the dice or ace on the turn. You beg, borrow or steal.
And there you get the wow and the flutter of the tape machine. Alright, so that's kind of how that works. And they're all pretty cool, to be honest. So let's remove this guy. And I'm going to put it back on the Brit console, and we'll go on the 4000. Have a listen to this. Go from the verse.
Another grace flashes past the window on the 13th floor. One more sad life crashes, broken by the yearn for more and more. Another spin of the wheel, roll of the dice or ace on the turn. You beg, borrow or steal or trade.
Alright, so I've got the drive cranked quite a bit, and it's very, very subtle, actually. Even if I've got it cranked up to 18, it's still pretty subtle. Excuse me. Alright, so there you go. And Rich has found that information on my behalf about the plugin data on save. This basically means that when saving, it will cache things such as the plugin location, as well as any presets used, save, created, enabling faster load times. Yes, can be extremely useful, but if you are the type of person that moves files, locations around, and you run the risk of things not working as you'd expect, yes. This is best used when folks install to the default location as recommended by the devs of plugins, and with good reason, this one being an example. Yes! 100% agreed on all of that. Rolled ass, in the harmonics parameter, does the second and third refer to even or odd harmonics? I'm not sure. I mean, it's not labeled specifically whether it's even or odd. I have my suspicions that it's referring to even harmonics, but I would need to ask. I can certainly ask, because I talk to the guys at PSL pretty much every day, and so I can just drop it into a conversation in a meeting, no trouble, and find out exactly what that's referring to. But I think it's even, but I'll find out one way or the other. I could be right, could be wrong, 50% chance. But yeah. There we go. And Peace Value Audio is here, which is awesome. He says, sorry I'm late. No trouble. It's fine. And Just Bob is here as well. And you're saying, also sorry I'm late. Hey, guys, you don't have to apologize for being late. I'm glad you guys are here. It's awesome. I love it when you guys are here. So you guys are all brilliant, amazing people. So we've only got like an audience of about 15 or 16 at the moment, which is fine. It's July 4th weekend. I understand that. Right now here in Gorbridge in Scotland, it is already July 4th. So to all of my American friends, I would like to wish you a very happy Independence Day. I could make all sorts of jokes about Independence Day, and to be honest, I do regularly, but most of my American friends and family that know me know that I'm only messing, and it's all done with tongue very firmly in cheek and is not meant to be offensive in any way. But yeah, expect the Scottish invasion, that's all I'll say. Let's see. It is even. Rich says it's even. He says he measured it and it's even. Yeah, I think I said that was my suspicion. I think it's even too. But I've not definitively measured it, so I wasn't really sure whether it was specifically exactly even or odd, but just from ears and all of that, I think it was even. So glad to have that confirmed. That's pretty cool. But I can still ask and get, 100% confirmation from one of the QA guys that I talk to all the time. No problem there. All right, so we've got about 15 minutes left. For those of you that want to stick around for, the full hour, I know we've only got a small crowd, but if you guys are, still up for, continuing and asking more questions and having me answer them, I'm perfectly happy to go for the full hour. But likewise, if you guys have got things to do because it's Independence weekend, then that's fine. I have no problem with kind of curtailing the show. Let's see. Alps Media says, glad you welcome us each week and share your knowledge. Well, I'm very glad. I enjoy doing this show, and I have been doing this show every Sunday, barring maybe a handful of times that I've not been able to do it. And I think it's maybe 10 shows. I've been doing this since 2017. 2017. That's 5 years of Sunday Night Live, and I think I've only missed like 10 shows where I've not been able to do it, including not being able to do a show whilst I had COVID and was stuck in bed. But when I can do it, I do the show. I love doing it. I love talking to you guys. I love answering your questions. You guys mean the world to me, to be really honest. You really do. You guys are a fantastic little crowd. It'd be nice if we could grow this crowd much bigger. I think our record for attendance at a Sunday Night Live stands at 36. I think it's 36. It'd be nice if we could actually go past that and then actually, go beyond that every week so that, we have more than 36 as our average attendance. That would be awesome. So I need your help to be able to do that. So if you guys know people for whom you think Sunday Night Live would be something that would help them and be beneficial to them, then please share. Please share the show. Please share the link to it. Get it out there. Make sure your friends who you think this would be valuable to know about it. If you're watching and you are not subscribed, then please hit the subscribe button. The way I've set the show now, for a variety of reasons, it's to engage in the chat, you've got to be a subscriber for at least 20 minutes. So if you want to get involved and you've got a question to ask, hit the subscribe button, wait 20 minutes, and then ask away. I'm always happy to have your questions, and I'm always happy to have you as a subscriber. Hit the notification bell and select all notifications. That way you'll get a notification about this show and also any other content, videos and posts and things like that that I put out. I try to get back into making videos, but with COVID, I've been laid out and just, I finish my day at work and I go to bed, to be honest. That's kind of how it's been lately. But I want to get back into making some more videos. I've got some ideas for videos lined up already, but if you guys have a particular larger scale question that would be a better fit for a standalone video, then please drop me an email. Go to the website listed just down here, JonnyLipshamStudios.co.uk. At the bottom of the screen, if you scroll down to the bottom of the website, there's a contact form there. Fill that out and, say, hey, I would love it if we could do, if you could do a video on X feature in Studio One, or a video on, some kind of mixing technique, or whatever it is that it might be that you are interested in. And if you also have an idea for a subject or a theme for a Sunday Night Live, like a much larger scale question, or you want to see something demonstrated, then please, again, fill out that contact form and just put the subject title as Sunday Night Live. And I would love to compile a list of stuff that we can just start going through over the next several weeks and the next several months. So if you guys are up for that, I would certainly be happy to kind of make these shows more and more and more about you guys and things that are kind of burning issues for you, or something you want to see, or a particular topic to do with music production that you would like to see covered. Don't forget, on Wednesdays I have not Sunday Night Live, because that would be on a Sunday. On Wednesdays, I have Songwriting Simplified with Jonny Guy over on his channel, the Home Studio Trainer channel. If you're not subscribed over there, go do that as well. And we cover things to do with music when it comes to songwriting. So songwriting, arranging, composing, orchestration we've covered way back. I think we did a series of shows where we looked at the history of recording equipment. So we looked at the history of microphones, and how sound got captured and all of that, tracing it all the way up to the kind of present day. So starting with tin and iron filings and things like that, or wax cylinders and stuff from the 1870s and 1880s that were all demonstrated at the Paris Expo way back in 1881, 1882. Thomas Edison showed off his wax cylinder. We covered all of that, so we've done shows on that on Songwriting Simplified as well. Just so that everybody gets a grounding in the history of how we got to be where we are today with Studio One and other DAWs and plugins and stuff like that. So, yeah. Please go check out that show. It's 6 p.m. Central, same time as this, really, but on a Wednesday rather than a Sunday. Let's see what else we got. Can you advertise your show on the homepage in Studio One where Newsfeed is at? I can ask. I don't run that. The marketing team are in charge of what goes into the newsfeed. I can ask. I can see what they have to say. They might advertise it. You never know. But I can certainly ask. Ronald says maybe a tutorial with downloadable files so we can play along at home. It's interesting you should say that. I have a mixing series where I actually did a new mix of the song Paper Deity, which I have featured a little bit tonight. And I made the stems available for that. And so if you go to that series, I think, if memory serves me right, and it might not, but I think in the first video, and I think maybe in subsequent videos of that series, in the description there was a link to a Dropbox where you can get the stems to mix Paper Deity for yourself. And I think I did, once that series had finished, I think I did a Sunday Night Live where I said, hey, if you've done a mix of it, send me your mix and we'll feature it on Sunday Night Live. And we did that. So if you want to do a new mix of Paper Deity, you are very welcome to. And if you want to use it to kind of sell your mixing services, you can do that too. Just make sure to credit me, Jonny Lipsham, as the the songwriter and the artist, because it's my song and I own the copyright for it. So I'm kind of happy for you guys to mix it. Not a problem there. I'm even happy for you guys to do a remix if you want to. But just remember, I own the copyright to the song, so you can't sell it. Okay? So once we got that out, now we've got that out of the way. Cleon says Apogee has a soft limiter for free that people can check out. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Apogee plugins. I know some of you guys probably are, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan of theirs. Persona should advertise your channel, most definitely. Now, interesting you should say that, because they kind of do. If you are a member of Persona Sphere, if you go to the, hang on, let me see if I can make sure I direct you to the right place here. So if you go to the Learn section of your Persona Sphere account, you've got product videos and exclusive videos, and then underneath that you've got a section that's called partner videos. If you click on that, you will be taken to a bunch of links to Persona's partners. You'll see Marcus Huskins there. You'll see Joe Gilder at Home Studio Corner. Then you'll see Jonny Lipsham Studios right here. And this takes you back here to my channel. So yeah, I'm listed as a Persona's partner. And there's Johnny Gibe there. And there you've got Dave Vignola at Home Recording Made Easy. Gus Lazada TV. Gus is a Persona's employee, but he also makes some really excellent tutorials. Then there's Groove 3, who make a whole bunch of really, really good tutorials as well. And then there's Obadiah, however you say it. I don't really know how you say it. And then there's Studio One Tutorials. Excuse me, I still have that kind of COVID-y cough. But yeah, I'm listed there as a Persona's partner. So yeah, they kind of do advertise me. Sort of. But yeah, I can certainly talk to the marketing folks and see if they can put in a little thing in the news feed about my Sunday Night Live show and see what they say. They might. Dwayne says, I wonder why Capture is not professionally covered very well. Well, it kind of is. There's a whole bunch of, because Capture is associated with the Studio Live mixes in particular, because it's built in it's built into the Studio Live mixers. So there is a whole bunch of tutorial videos on using Capture that I think are in the Studio Live playlist, I think. But you can certainly go to the Persona's YouTube channel, and in the search box you can type in Capture and a bunch of videos should come up. And I think Capture was updated relatively recently. I think maybe 6 months ago there was a new update for it, so that would be worth checking out. Rich says, if anyone wants to get technical as to what their plugins are doing, there's a utility called Plugin Doctor by DDMF. Yes, I have heard about that, and it's pretty cool. Darren West is here. Hello, Darren. You've joined us in the last 2 minutes of the show, my friend. We have covered some really cool stuff, so please do watch the replay, which will be available very shortly after this live stream ends. You maybe only have to wait 15-20 minutes, and then it'll be available, and you can watch it right away. But Darren, if you've got any questions following tonight's show, please drop me an email, and I can maybe feature your question in next week's show. And that goes for anybody else. If you have a question that didn't get addressed tonight, or you think of something after this is finished, please drop me an email and ask a question. And we can go through some email questions next week, if that is cool for you guys. So we can do a mixture of email questions and chat questions, and we'll see what we come up with. All right, folks, we're going to kind of end it there, I think, because we've got like 1 minute to go. So a very big thank you to everybody who has contributed in the chat tonight, and thank you for your questions. Thank you for your company. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you very, very, very much. And I hope you all have a fantastic extended weekend with July 4th being tomorrow. Have a lot of fun. Enjoy the fireworks. Don't drink too much. Have a heck of a party, and I will see you guys all on Wednesday over on Jonny's channel for Songwriting Simplified. If songwriting and arranging and composing and music theory is your bag, that's the place to go, and you can ask your questions on that kind of subject as well. So thanks a lot, folks. I will see you very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Good night.